We are here with Sissal, who will be representing Denmark at Eurovision 2025 with the absolute banger Hallucination. Sissal, welcome.
Hi, guys. Thank you for having me.
Can you talk a little bit about your relationship to Eurovision and also Junior Eurovision growing up?
I started watching the junior version when I was I think 5 or 6 years old. And I so firmly remember Dino Yellowstick with Tisimuya, like my first crush ever. And then I remember my parents watched Eurovision. For example, when the Olsen brothers won.
Fly on the wings of love. Fly, baby, fly.
I remember how happy they were because nobody expected them to win at all. Because they were these two older guys who were in their 40s and everyone was like, what just happened? And we're hoping for that this year. No, I'm kidding. But
you stop it.
Yes, stop it. No, I'm kidding. So because I am a musician, I think it's much more fun than, for example, watching X Factor. I don't watch those shows because in the Eurovision, it's their own songs. They are artists. A lot of them have been artists for a lot of years before submitting to Eurovision. We always had a party when there's Eurovision and have some games with it as well. So you have to come with traditional food from the country that you think is going to win.
They'll have to make a drinking game that anytime they see your face on screen, they have to drink.
Or every time I say hallucination, everyone will be batshit drunk. Listening to the one song one time and they will all be drunk. And that's very Danish as well.
Was that purposeful in the songwriting?
Yeah, exactly. Because Danish people, oh my God, alcohol culture.
Yeah.
And for me as well. So I might be drunk on stage. No, I won't be.
Incredible.
Now, can you talk a bit about how you came to music?
I started singing before I even talked. My mom said that at least. Maybe she's lying. Who knows? But I was born with the talents, she said. Because there's not a lot of musicians in my family. So the way that I got into the Faroese music industry was through some musicals that I was in. And I met an ex-boyfriend who was from a very musical family. It wasn't a band. They played for me, basically. So they helped me develop songs. It was me as an artist and they played under because I didn't know how to make music alone. I didn't produce yet. Now I do. And so everything that I recorded to start with was basically live studio instruments in a studio. But I always have been drawn to EDM and electronic pop and Scandipop in that genre. So when I moved to Denmark, it was amazing because there's a lot of producers in Denmark. There's not a lot of electronic producers in the Faroe Islands. The Faroe Islands has a more organic sound, which is also amazing. I think I found my genre. And also my ex-boyfriend and the ones in the band, they are always that is definitely you. Because I always tried making it more electronic. And they were no, very jazzy dudes, let's make some surprises. And I'm no, God, stop it. I just wanted to sound so electronic.
Talking about the Faroe Islands, you've said that really you're representing two places. You're representing Denmark and the Faroe Islands.
Growing up in the Faroe Islands is completely different from growing up in Denmark. It's more small villages. The island culture is completely different because you don't have to call your neighbor to go and knock on their door and hey, do you have some sugar? You can run on the street without being afraid of being kidnapped. You can also do that in Denmark, basically. But in the Faroe Islands, there's not a lot of criminality. And the music industry as well is completely different. You can either go the jazzy way or the classical way. And if you're not born in one of the musical families, it's very hard to get in the music industry, I feel like. So I basically got through with going to musicals. But yeah, growing up, it definitely shaped me into knowing what kind of music I don't want to do. Not because it's bad, it's just not me. I'm definitely representing two cultures. I see my family almost more than a lot of my friends that live in Denmark that have families living 20 minutes away. And I see mine that live 2 hours in a flight and 3,000 kroners as well. A lot more because we're very close. It has definitely shaped me into being this. I think I'm humble. Can you say that yourself that you're a humble person? Is that?
I think you can pull it off.
I think I am a very humble person because if I came home thinking that I was too good, they would be shut the fuck up. I didn't curse there. I stopped there.
I will say you may have decided to move away from musical theater, but I do want to hear your version of There Are Worse Things I Could Do.
Oh, yes. And I'm such a Rizzo as well.
You really are a Rizzo.
I could never be Sandy. Like I tried.
Who
And I was
wants to
like,
be Sandy though?
I would like to be her only because she had a lot more solos, and I like the spotlight with like singing. And I'm like, give me those solos. I tried being Sandy, and I was like, hey, Donnie, and it was like, stop, girl. I'm just not cute enough for that. I would definitely play Ursula in The Little Mermaid. I'm just a very bad actor. That's my issue. Like, it's not,
I
like
I
it's
don't
not even
believe
like trying to be like, oh no, tell me. No, I'm very bad. My musical director, he was sometimes, you know what? You got the voice. That's why you have this role. That's what he basically. I'm like, I get that. That's so true. That's so true. I'm very self-aware, and I know, like, I'm a very good vocalist. I'm a very bad actor. That's just the way it is. And a very bad dancer, obviously. Have you seen my performance? Like, it's just not my thing. So, yeah, basically.
Listen, I think the humble is
yeah. You're
proven.
getting a lot of humble points right now. Speaking of your family, they don't have a musical background, but your mom's an artist, right?
She's a glass artist. She makes cold glass.
Which is amazing.
Yeah, I mean, exactly. So I have very creative family, very creative,
Yeah.
but not a music artist. So
No. Yes, no,
Yeah.
totally. But what did you learn about creativity from her?
I mean, I think growing up in my household, my mom and dad have always been like, there's not like this traditional role with how women and men do things. Like I have built my inbuilt shelves and stuff. Like I have
Oh,
done
yeah,
my own
yeah.
wardrobe. She has showed me how to put on tiles, on floors, on walls. So like mom has always been a badass when it comes to those things. And my father has always been also, both my mom and dad have always tried to focus on the things that I'm good at. So I'm horrible at math. And they were like, you know what? You can do a lot of other things. So they have always like
That's amazing.
pushed me doing things that I'm good at. And that has always also given me like this kind of belief in myself. It's kind of funny. Like with guys, if someone isn't in love with me, I'm like, they're gay. It's okay. Like definitely gay. There's no other reason. There's no possibility that they're just not attracted to me. I'm like, they're probably gay, and then we could be friends. It's good. Like
Yeah.
You'll be the only Eurovision artist this year that if your set piece breaks, you'll just get out your tools and fix it yourself.
yeah, exactly. I'll be like, you know what? Literally in the DMGP finals, my shoe literally broke. Like the whole
Jeez.
heel broke off. And I have sprained my foot so bad and it hurt like shit. And I pulled some other shoes up. They were ugly. They did not fit the outfit at all. But you know what? They were there and we did what we had to do. I don't panic a lot when it comes to realistic things. I panic about unrealistic things, but
What's your big unrealistic fear?
I have always had like a lot of anxiety and OCD when I was younger. So it's literally like there's a shark in the pool. I'm like, that's definitely true. Like that, and it's so unrealistic. I have always have this like afraid of being like all of a sudden like going psychotic. If I get like some kind of symptoms that I'm like, oh shit, it's happening. Like it's so unrealistic.
Waiting for that break. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's basically impossible. But I'm like, but maybe I'm the first one.
Has being a mother yourself changed or shaped your artistic perspective?
Yeah, it definitely has. Because when I was younger, I was so freaking anxious about life. So your life has been planned out until high school, after like college. Now it's your turn to do something with your life. I completely panicked. I didn't know what to do. So I basically became a mother because that was like, then I have some things to do. Like like something is planned out for me. And I'm much more calm now with like not everything being planned out. And also, not that I get a lot of hate, but that just comes with being an artist. I don't think I would be able to handle it that well when I was younger. I think I would be an emotional wreck if I got those comments that I gotten like this year. Now I'm not even trying to play cool, but it doesn't give me any negative thoughts about myself. So I think like being a mom, it basically made me wait until I was older. And being older for me was definitely great, but it has been very hard when it comes to meeting new record labels and managements. Because when you're a woman, people are like, oh, your career is over when you have children. Nobody asks a man about that, unfortunately. But I think like sometimes I have had this feeling of, oh, it's annoying that I started this late because I have a lot of other responsibilities now. But those responsibilities keep me so much more grounded. I love coming home to like making freaking sandwiches for my children and just living this unglamorous life after feeling like a pop star into these pre-parties, like where everything is getting done or handed to you. While I'm at home, my children don't give a shit who I am. They're like, just give me some snacks.
I just wanted to talk a little bit, just briefly, about your EP. Can you talk about how that album came about? It seems like you wrote the songs mostly in collaboration with Christian Core.
Yes. And Max. So
Oh,
Max, yeah, Max
So
he
Max-
co-wrote it.
because I saw Max on Hear Me Now, the song.
Yes.
Hear me now. You won't hold me down.
He also, was he on the other songs as well?
Yes,
Or?
he's on every
Oh, okay.
song, and he co-wrote all the songs, and he was also in this year's DMGP, so that's kind of funny.
Yeah.
When we started working together, we made Hear Me Now. We tried getting it through the DMGP last year, and it didn't get through. So after that, they were so amazed by my vocals that they were like, we want to work with you more. And so we had like this, what references do I use? Who is my inspiration? What kind of songs do I like? What do I want to do? So we basically came down to like, I really love upbeat tempo songs. And I know a lot of people get so not mad, but maybe a little bit sad about it because they think like I have a very ballad kind of voice. And I definitely do. I get that. And I have made a ballad that I'm looking forward to releasing after this Eurovision. But I definitely wanted like more of an upbeat tempo song because I love being myself at concerts where I can dance and shake my flat ass. So it was like, you thought I was going to say fat ass, but it's not that fat, unfortunately. But it was
Working on it, you know?
No, exactly. I'm definitely listen a lot to like Swedish pop and like Scandipop overall. So like Downy from Norway, Sigrid from Norway, Robin from Sweden. It has this specific sound that I love. One day, for example, we took like our sunglasses on and we were like, we're doing Swedish today. So the whole process, Alfred, was actually making an album that was, of course, a personal story of mine with all of the songs. I feel like Hear Me Now is DMGP coded. And then we have like Deep End, which is very Swedish, and Far From Sober.
I like my wine dry, but tonight I'm not. So baby, dim the lights, give me all your love.
You brought up Robin, Far From Sober really has a
exactly.
very Robin feel to it. Yeah.
It was basically a process of like doing this upbeat kind of EP where I wanted to do some, I basically for the gays, actually.
Well, and we're very happy you did that for us.
Right, exactly.
And the first concert that I played with my EP was at Pride. So it was like, yes, I love it.
Perfect. Moving to Hallucination, can you describe writing at the Scandipop songwriting camp? The collaborators on that song include Joy and Linnea Deb and Melanie Webb. How did you work together to create the song?
At the camp, it was me, Lena, and Chris and Malte was like put in a room, and we had like these restrictions, like you have to do at least 140 BPM and it has to be upbeat. And Linnea and Melanie and Marcus were like mentors on the camp.
Oh, cool.
So they were basically the ones who were like, you can always call in and being like, can you listen to our song? Do you have some notes? And they came in and like showed us some kind of melodies, how we could like play with it and some syllables as well. Those are legends. Like it's such an honor writing with these people because they have like the best ideas. But like the song was basically written in 3 hours. And when we had made that song, we were always like just joking around being like, oh, vote for us, huh? We didn't know that it was going to be like freaking win the whole thing, not even like being submitted. And it wasn't even supposed to be me singing the song. We were there to write for other artists. We were like, can I maybe submit it for myself? And he was like, you know what? Yeah, why not? And then the Danish broadcasting heard it and they were very impressed.
Recently, you've talked about revamping the staging for Hallucination. Can you talk about what that process has been like? And I saw somewhere that you had an initial staging idea that featured naked men covered in baby oil.
Yes.
Are we going to see that with the revamp? Is that?
I wish. No, for me, Eurovision has always been like gay, very naked, and more is more. Like all the things that I love the most, basically. But then I talked to my choreographer and she was like, what focus do we want to have on the song? And that's why we like said that's probably not the best way to go. Also, when we saw like Ollie, even if I loved it, people were very like offended by it somehow. I don't know why, but they were. The thing is, we have basically changed the whole thing. There is nothing left from the old staging. And I know that a lot of people are afraid because they have been like, yeah, they told that us last year. And basically the only thing that changed was like a bigger platform or something. So that's definitely not in our case. But we also have to remember a lot of countries have a lot of money. We don't. But what we chose to do was focusing on stage presence and my vocals being like the in front and center. And how do we somehow visualize hallucinations? I can reveal one thing, and that is I'm not just having one outfit on stage. I'm having an outfit change. My outfit is completely different colors. We have completely different visuals. My first performance was very like rave kind of colors.
Right.
We're not going in that direction at all. And we're having also elements and more dancers as well that somehow elevate the feeling of hallucinations. I think a lot of people are like expecting me to basically do the same with an hella empty stage and some hands on my face. Like that's not happening. There's no hands on my face.
You've been in touch with Riley about the contest. Can you talk about how that friendship formed and what some of the advice you've gotten from him has been?
I met Riley in my second musical in Greece. When I asked him if I should be in this year's DMGP, he was like, why not? He knows what I'm capable of. The only thing that he, for example, was sad about was that it went so badly with his vocals because he is actually a great singer. I know that a lot of people are like, no, yes, he actually is.
That song with the like constant flip up into his head voice is like
Oh, yes.
the most
It's a hard song.
comforting as a live performance to do.
Yeah.
And with the vocoder harmonies in the back, like
Yes. I think that saved him, like the vocoder. That's what he said, because it was so loud. He said there was a lot of things that happened that was not optimal, or how do you say it? He's like, you don't need to try and overthink anything. Just do what you do best, and that's it, because that's enough for you.
that's amazing. And I think that's actually an amazing place to wrap this up. Sissal, thank you so much.
Thank you so
such
much.
huge fans of the song and of you, and we cannot wait to see you in Basel.
Thank you guys for having me. It was a pleasure meeting you guys.
All the mysteries of the Euroverse.